what can you say? The Raptors, they fight back admirably again, but they put themselves in a hole. And at the end of the day, they lose again. Down to 16-23 on the season. Let's break it all down for you guys in tonight's post-game show. All right, so obviously a lot of the comments, a lot of the chat, it's going to be people coming and talking about fake comeback this, fake comeback that. There's going to be stuff on Twitter, fake comeback, all this stuff. Not disagreeing that it's all for nothing, but this is definitely better than getting blown out. The question mark definitely needs to be about why does this team consistently put themselves in such a hole where they need such a tremendous fight back just to still not win the game. Right? That's the concerning part because they consistently put themselves in a hole. And today they had a really good third quarter. That wasn't the issue. The start of the fourth quarter was so poor. And it's just the inability to find consistent offense that is continuing to plague this team. And it's just like every night something doesn't click, something doesn't go well, something doesn't happen for this team. There's never all the core guys firing on all cylinders. And unfortunately, tonight's just another night where you don't get Pascal Siakam. You get 18 points, 13 runs, 5 assists, and as far as bad games go, that's pretty good, but he's 4 for 14 from the field, and he turns the ball over 5 times. Everyone else was fine. Like, you get another pretty damn good game from Fred VanVleet, another, really good game from Fred VanVleet. Obviously, he is far from the problem today, but overall in the season, it's just there's always something else going wrong for this team, and it could never be everything. Well, VanVleet was, like I said, far from the problem today. Look at the scores. Look at the box score. Fred is a plus 11. He's 9 for 21, 3 for 9. No, those aren't the most efficient numbers, but 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, only 1 turnover. That's nothing to scoff at. Absolutely not. And it's the second game in a row he's got 28 with other great stats. Are they the most efficient nights? No. But he's part of the reason we even had a prayer in this game. Gary Trent has another great game. OG, solid, gives you a good night. Siakam not at it. And Barnes is just another night where you just don't get enough of him. Fourth quarter was a lot better, but second game in a row, he goes into the fourth quarter. 3 full quarters of basketball, having not scored a field goal. And people are trying to make this out to be kind of not being used enough. He's not getting the touches. He's not allowed to go score. I think that's all shit, to be honest. He's out there on the floor. He's a young player. Look, we can excuse these things, but we need a bit more from him. We need him to be more aggressive. And when he got aggressive in the fourth quarter, we saw better from him. Get yourselves in good positions on cuts. Get aggressive with the ball in your hands, and you can make things happen. He's a good enough player to make things happen out there. Getting him on a -8 when all the other starters are in the positive is slightly annoying. Further down the list, the bench. It's better than 7 points, but it's still not great. It's 15 points. And, I mean, at the end of the day, you lose the game. You lose the game, and it comes down to, Randall was, 32 points. It looks better than it was. He had 19 in the first quarter because he hit 5 ridiculous threes in a row. Credit to him for hitting them. But big game there. Brunson, big game. They just overall shot the ball better. They shoot 47-32 or 47-43. We shoot 42-34. We consistently put ourselves in bad positions with our inability to score consistently. That's putting us in these holes in every game. And we turn on the aggression in the fourth quarter that you just can't have all game. We don't have all game, and it's not enough. You force the turnovers. You rebound the ball pretty well considering the team you're playing against. But overall, it really is just starting to dawn on fans like myself. This team just is not that good. It's a difficult reality to accept. The team's just not that good. The construction of the team, it's a bit of a mess. Underperforming players, not enough support from the bench, not enough shooting. Ball handling better today. Like Fred being aggressive was a difference maker out there on the floor. It's just the inconsistencies that come with Fred VanVleet that have been so concerning this season. It's there's a lot wrong with this team. And there's too much to fix. Now, as far as making changes to the team that we clearly need, front office, like it's not 2K. These things don't just happen like that. It's a process. It's a process that takes days, weeks, sometimes months for trades to happen. It can't just happen right away. The team definitely has some fundamental flaws. The front office is going to be able to address all of these things right now before the deadline. Can they address some things? Yes. They need to pick some sort of direction for the team to take. Because right now the current direction is nowhere. There's no direction. There's no identity. We're lacking identity on defense. Lacking identity as well on the offensive end. At this point in the season, you're 16-23. You're slipping every day into higher percentages and getting that top pick. And it's looking like that could be a worthwhile way, an avenue for the Raptors to go about their season this year. If you're on the side that you want this team to lose as many games as possible, well, I think a hard-fought game like this is the best way to lose a game. You don't want to have the boring blowouts every game. You want to have entertaining losses, and you're kind of getting that today. With the Raptors. The first-round pick that we have is looking extremely valuable at this point. I think you got to keep on to that. As far as future assets, future picks, you've got them all, but those are the picks that you should be using in the future to get more talent, or using those picks to pivot and land a top-tier player to really fit in with your team. At this point, that pick is looking like the most valuable asset that the Raptors have. It's a pretty top-heavy draft class. I'm interested in exploring it at this point. It doesn't really feel like this team can go anywhere this season. It's a sad reality to face, but I advocated for this team. I advocated for time. I advocated for patience. I advocated that this is a good team. Well, time's up. Running out of patience here as you're a month away from the trade deadline. This team just isn't that good. The perception on paper is that this can be a good team. You can definitely make something out of this team. We just haven't found the secret sauce, the secret ingredients here, or whatever it is. We haven't found the right way to piece these guys together and make the best team out of it. That's the sad reality of the situation. I don't think coaching is the biggest concern. I think there's a multitude of reasons, but I don't feel like this is a Nick Nurse problem. I think there's underperforming players. I think there's front office inability to get the right help around the team. And I think Nurse hasn't quite done the best that he could do with this unit, but given the nature of this roster, how much is missing, Nick Nurse is part of the problem, but he's not that big of a problem that I would say that his job is in jeopardy. I think this team needs a retool. I'd love to do a retool around Nick Nurse and his coaching philosophies, give him an opportunity to build this team up, develop the players in this team, develop them into his coaching systems. Is there work that needs to be done there? Yes, absolutely. But I think he can work well with the front office, and I think they are a team of people that can dig us out of this situation, because the Raptors, they're a better team than the Knicks. There should be. They aren't. They should have been better than that Bucks team 2 days ago. They weren't. And we're seeing on a consistent basis the Raptors have an inability to find ways to score and find ways to win. On the table, Scotty Barnes off the table. I think there is a viable reason to look to trade a lot of guys, a lot of different directions that you can take with this team. I don't think trading Scotty it should be anywhere near considerations. I also feel like OG is a guy you should have long term. Put him on your team. If you're going in a different direction, give OG a lot of the load on offense. It's what he's been looking for with this team. I think that's a way to pursue, because no matter what type of the team you are in the NBA, OG is a player that you could use. OG is a player that you could want on your team. And I think that's somebody worth having going forward. But we're just worse than a lot of the teams here. We're getting outplayed consistently every game that we play. It's a tough situation to be in for the Raptors. A lot of questions to answer from the front office. A lot of questions for this team to answer. It's a disappointing way the season's gone, but You have to ask yourself, at what point is too far gone? I think this is too far gone. I think this is definitely too far gone. The Raptors are in a hole that I don't think is worth climbing out of, given the nature of this draft and what the team has and what they would have to do to actually get anywhere with the current core. That will wrap it up on the stream for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the stream today or tuning into the content. If you did enjoy, please be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more Raptors content just like this.